we are back. We are back. And I'm back for vengeance. We're back for vengeance. I want to get a vengeance sound effect. What sound effect here screams? Vengeance. What about this one? Yeah. Yeah. We're at Curse Solar right now. I should take some medicine action. Can I hear me this stuff on the mic? I'm very far away from the mic right now. And now I'm gonna approach the mic again. I'm gonna be gradually louder. This is your lesson on how sound works. This was your lesson on sound. It's like noise, but for your ears. Okay. So, the next thing we have... sorry, that's the meaning. Is, Cursola. Why is my phone going off now? Shut up. Cursola. What do we know? What do I know about the it's difficult for the other forms. It's difficult for the other forms. I'm not sure about Galarian Cursola. I know this thing. So I need to change my screen size so I can still see chat. I completely forgot about that. What's it look like? Okay, now that looks okay. You guys don't have to see the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet's just for me. What you guys want to see is the cool, awesome, ranking on the left. And I also need to type. It's okay if I type something. It's okay if I type something. There you go. There you go. Oh, little cuff there. Oh. Okay. Ooh. I'm burning my hands together. I'm all set. Now we're all set. Now we're all set. Right after I do this. And we are all set. We are all set. Actually. Now we're all set. Now we're all set. Now we're all set. I'm not lying this time. I know I lied a lot. I'm not lying this time. Let's look at, yeah, I know this thing has Strength Sap, which I remember being a teenager when this game came out, and playing online, and there were so many people with a Cursola, and I just did not know how to counter Strength Sap. I just always got messed up by it. I never thought of just using a special. I mean, I thought of it, and I figured it out, but so many of my Pokemon were just physical attackers. I wasn't used to people locking in for online battles. This was before Showdown or competitive Pokemon battling was a huge thing. So I just went online just for fun. I didn't use competitive strategy. So I just kind of got messed up. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of it. How old was I? I would have been like 6. I don't know. I would have been like a teenager. I would have been a teenager. I wouldn't have been an adult. I wouldn't have been an adult. So I'm not ashamed of saying that. I'm not ashamed of saying that. I wouldn't have been an adult. I made mistakes. I was stupid. I was young. Nowadays, I could body this thing easily. Nowadays, I could body this thing easily. Even though I'm still embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed because, like, I was a Pokemon legend. By that point, I played so much Pokemon. You're telling me I did not know how to counter Strength Sap? That is so fucked up. Okay, let me... What's your step? She grew. Exactly, Snazzes. She grew. She grows every day. What's your step when wandering areas oceans once covered? What looks like a stone could be this Pokemon, and it will curse you if you kick it. Sudden climate change wiped out this ancient kind of... So this Pokemon believes in climate change. This is an important factor. This is an important factor. So, probably not a big fan of a lot of the pro-oil policies that a lot of right-wing pundits like to introduce, which... It goes into wokeness again. It goes into wokeness again. I don't know the stance on other issues of course Cursola has, but definitely Galarian Cursola has, but definitely pro-climate. As we can see here, I believe you, yeah, if we look closely, we can see definitely Caucasian complexity. So I think, this is difficult though. This is difficult. Very pale, very pale. It's very pale, but we love her. We love her. I think I'm putting you in Wine Mom good, is I think the tier. Now for Pink Cursola. Pink Cursola rates to me as a beach girl. Actually, no. White Cursola is probably very aware of a lot of social issues, considering that she's been very disadvantaged since birth. Like, you know, kicked like a stone and such. And then recover. I think we can put it in opposition. I think, you know, I changed my mind. Yeah, I think Cursola is Cursola Galarian is a hardcore leftist. I believe. Normal Cursola. I think Jodo Cursola is more of beach girl type, like happy-go-lucky, maybe even ditzy. Even doesn't really stay too informed on a lot of politics, but it has the heart in the right place. I think. Maybe. I think she'd buy into a lot of bad shit. Like she'd get into cryptocurrency stuff. She'd share some AI videos with you. But I think in the end she would still be with you. So I think she ranks in Wine Mom good. Okay. Octillery. Octillery. Known for being a squid. Well, you are red. That is concerned. It's always a red flag. Pun not intended. Just kidding. It was very intended. We have to think here. Despite everything, actually pretty decent stat spread for the time for a mixed attack. It's like this is pretty good considering what the other stuff that was going around. I will have to say, pretty solid stat spread. If it were to support January 6th, it would definitely have the strength to go. I believe. Very into artillery. Kind of a military guy. She's literally modeled after a tank, you know. She's literally a soldier. She's an ex-veteran. Well, she loves as an ex. She pretends she never saw combat, but she's very cocky because she went to the military for like 3 years to pay off her student loans. So we will put you in definitely went to January 6th. Delibird. Delibird is joyful. Delibird does not know controversy. Delibird is a weak little guy. He just likes spreading joy. He's Santa Claus. And I believe Santa Claus would, I think, oppose January 6th. So we can put you in opposition. What is the next? Oh, why am I skipping? Yeah, it's Mantine. Why am I skipping so far ahead? Why am I skipping? I have used Mantine before. The thing of Mantine, here's the deal of Mantine. Mantine has very high special defense and nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah, Delibird would be like, it's... you're right. Delibird would be... shit, that's a good point. Delibird would definitely buy into the war on Christmas, because that's like a sore issue. That's like a sore spot for him. That is definitely true. I think we might have to move Delibird into Wine Mom Evil for that. I think that would send Delibird down the bad pipeline. That would send Delibird to a bad pipeline. Maybe even didn't go but endorsed it. Because, I definitely didn't go. Because the stat spread and the move pool is just too weak. Delibird could not handle these riots. Like, he knows he couldn't withstand it. But he supported yes. Next up, we have... Yeah, we're at Manton again. So, special defense, I really can't do much. The thing with when you only have special defense is you can't really pivot something out. Says you no. Listen, we all have our reasons. We all have our reasons. I'm not proud of it. We're not proud of Sizer, but you know, never meet your heroes is what they say. So the thing with Mantine is you can't pivot anyone out just for special defense. A lot of walls, like for example Corviknight, have also decent kind of getting the ball rolling type stuff. Like it has, but you use iron defense and you use body press, because iron body press, for all of those not in the know, is a move that deals damage based on your defense value and not your attack value. So the strat of Corviknight is to just send it in against a Pokemon that really can't do much against it, because it's just it's just too good at defending, and then buffing up the defense more and more and getting the ball rolling, and then having an extremely hard hitting body press. Mantine can't really do that. Mantine doesn't have a very good water flying, is not a very good defensive typing, being double weak to electric and all that. So Mantine would have some problems, definitely. But I still think it could attend January 6th if I wanted to. However, what does the stat spread say about political value? I'm telling you, feeble but educated. I think Mantine is very educated. And those are the strengths. This is one hell of a fucking tier list ranking. I know, but it's very scientific is the thing. It also has water absorb, which, you know, that means you can pivot. You can pivot it. You can pivot into a water type move, even though no one would ever attack with a water type move in the first place. You just have to predict one, I guess. So it builds up a lot of speed swimming. Swims elegantly. Mindless of Remoraid hitching in the spot fence. So it's not very aware of its surroundings, so it's very focused on what it does. It's very focused. I think, well, it doesn't respect speed limits. Ah, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Alright, my friend, good luck with your tier list. Personally, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. That's okay, Caffeine Boyo. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a splendid day. I hope you will find $5 on wherever you're gonna go. I hope you have a... Aw, thank you. Thank you. This is absolutely Sugoi, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I think Mantine would still be in the opposition. One day I will find you and I will beat the sadness out of your brain until you attack. Aw, you're gonna give me a lobotomy? That's so kind. This is so kind. I'm receiving so many good messages in chat. Real bro in chat. It's just, there's so much realness going on today. There's so much realness. You guys wish you could get a free lobotomy. But you have to be a celebrity like me. You have to have 30 plus Twitch followers to get free lobotomies. So Mantine is kind of a diva, you know? Loves speed swimming, loves being majestic. So I think opposition. I think Mantine would be a wonderful queer influencer. Yeah, good luck to you too, Caffeine. Skarmory. Here's the thing with Skarmory. Skarmory is a steel flying type, and that was its thing. That was Skarmory's thing for the longest time. But guess what happened? In Gen 8, we got Corviknight, which is another steel flying type, and it's better. It's just, Skarmory used to be such a good competitive mon for singles, but then Corviknight came and completely stole her thunder. Now, you still see some use for Skarmory, but it's mostly coping. It's mostly people coping with how good she used to be, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad. You can't... Corviknight is just... She just clears her. I think she would hold some resentment, and that would cause Skarmory to kind of fall into a rabbit hole where she starts grifting. She starts grifting to get new attention. Get attention again, get some usage again, be seen again. So I think Skarmory would have gone. And that's very sad to say. That is very sad to say. Houndoom. Do I even... I'm wondering if I even have, let me take a sip. I have a mug next to me that I bought when I was 13 years old. It says video games ruined me life. Good thing I have 2 extra lives. I just said, it says me life. It says me, okay. No, I bought this cup at a convention when I was 13 years old thinking it was the coolest shit ever because it was cool gamer merch. Now I just realized there's a spelling error. I just now realized there's a spelling error. It says ruin me life, not my life, me life. This is like for a gaming pirate. Oh my god. I had to take a swig for that. I love my milk. I love getting some milk in. Who here loves milk? Houndoom. Cool puss. Blah. That's what Houndoom says. Houndoom. Good stats, honestly. Good stats. It's not as up to date. It's not super up to date, but I saw Houndoom in competitive once, and it actually beat my ass because it caught me off guard. Flash fire, which, you know, it's already resistant to fire, but again, with the same thing with Mantine, you can switch it in as a pivot if you see a fire move coming, or if you just want to force out a fire type. Getting a bow, the thing is that it gives you bonus, it gives you a stat up when you get flash fire to work. So that always gives you a reason to run it. It works sometimes. I've had it work with my chandeliers before, but you know. So, very aggressive Pokemon. Very aggressive Pokemon. But I believe Houndoom is kind of like Spearow, in which he looks mean. But she's actually just like a punk. I think she's just a punk. And I think that would tell us a lot about her political leaning. So, next up, we have Kingdra. Kingdra, I'm not a big fan of. That thing, if you pick Typhlosion, if you picked Cyndaquil in Gen 2, this motherfucker would be so evil. They made that last gym to spite you specifically. They had... nowadays, it's like, nowadays you're not a problem. Nowadays, Claire's not a problem anymore. Nowadays, she's not a problem anymore. Back then, she was... I can't make that comparison. I can't make references to 9/11 on stream. I can't do that. But, you know. If you know, you know. Also, we can see abilities, Sniper. So, definitely pro gun. So it can create whirlpools by yawning. So it's very careless. So I think we have to say went. I think Kingdra went. And I know people are going to be upset about that. Donphin. Donphin strikes me as kind of, not a survivalist type of guy, but like a guy that owns a bunker because he thinks the world is gonna collapse and he stockpiles on guns. That is what Donphan strikes me as. So I think Donphan definitely went to January 6th. So, Porygon, oh, we don't even, no, Standler, yeah, because Porygon Z, sorry, Standler, you know, that's already a very she loves standing. That's a very liberal teenager thing. So I think even if she wanted to go, she couldn't. But you know, she loves standing. She loves speed. She has glow sticks on her head. Well, I don't know if you bring this. I think that's just like that's like idols, but you know, it's you did it for idols. I don't think you did it for K-pop artists. What do you call K-poppers? I think Rhyperior is a straight up fascist. We're gonna get to Rhyperior. But don't worry. Standler, I think opposition. Smeargle. Smeargle is a starving artist. We're not gonna see Smeargle at January 6th. Hitmontop is based on capoeira. Like, Hitmontop's whole thing is that it just does capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial art that was, I believe, invented during when they were slaves, they were pretending they couldn't just openly show that they were doing martial arts or learning martial arts. So they were playing music and pretending to just be dancing. So Hit My Top, you know, it's very in touch with ancestry. Possibly like an immigrant that speaks Portuguese. Like, you know, it's a Brazilian fighting sport. It's a Brazilian martial art. So I think Hit My Top definitely opposes January 6th. Miltank, though. Miltank. I think Miltank is definitely on the Wine Mom tier somewhere. We just have to figure out where. I don't know. I think Miltank would tell me that it's just a phase. I think Miltank would tell me, I think Miltank would be like, oh, I'm fine with gay people. I just don't want my kids to be gay. I think that's Miltank's stance on politics, not with, you know, gay people. So I think Wine Mom evil is where Miltank fake. Blissey, Wine Mom good. Wine Mom good, no question. Wine Mom good, no question. Now it's getting interesting. The 3 legendary cats / dogs, depending on what canine, I don't know. Add up the things. What are we gonna call them? I think they're dogs. I think Entei's a dog. I think Raiku's a cat. I think Suikune is like a fox type thing, like an Arctic fox. That's my read. So in that vein, I'm gonna have to say Raikou probably didn't go, but let's just confirm let's just not get biased. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Potted Front. Thank you. Now, we have to think. Raikou embodies the speed of lightning. The roars of this Pokemon send shockwaves shuddering through the air and shake the ground as if lightning bolts had come crashing down. Is this a crazy stream title? This is so awesome. Because this is very scientific. You have to remain scientific. That's the big thing. So it embodies the speed of lightning. The rain clouds that carry thunderbolts. It carries like 5 thunderbolts as well. So it's open carrying. So I have to say, probably went to January 6th. Sorry. Probably holds some resentment because its stat total is 580 despite being a legendary. I mean, it's outdone by like pseudo legendaries. Entei. I see Entei as kind of an opposite to Raikou. Not that they hate each other, but I just feel like if Raikou goes to January 6th, I don't think Entei would go. Volcanoes erupt when it bugs, unable to restrain its extreme power, it races headlong around the land. A Pokemon that races, yeah, it just likes racing. It loves running around. I don't think it's particularly aware of issues, though. I am not seeing anything that Entei did to, like, help society in here, anywhere. Embodies the passion of magma. This Pokemon is thought to have been born in the eruption of a volcano. It sends up massive bursts of fire. Yeah, so definitely somewhere in the Wine Mom tier. I'm thinking Wine Mom good, probably. I think Entei would probably be nice, but I think Entei is just not very informed on a lot of issues. Suicune loves running away from her problems. We've seen this in the Gen 2 remakes. Suicune just loves running around. Well, all of them love running around, but Suicune specifically flees to a different nation just to avoid you. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. That means Suicune, I think, believes in open borders. So I think we have to put you in opposition. They love to jump around and have fun. That is true, but we have to admit that is kind of a libertarian viewpoint. We have to come to terms with that. Frolicking is just like, it's just not very woke. I'm sorry. Tyranitar, a kaiju based on Godzilla. I think Tyranitar would be in opposition. I think Tyranitar would be in opposition. Because kaiju, think about, what does Godzilla represent? It was social issue. It was, well, not social issues, political issues. It was, warfare, bombs, it's all bringing awareness to these things. So I think Tyranitar is at its core a very woke guy. So I think opposition. Lugia. Now this is a difficult one. Lugia, like I've said this before. I've said difficult a lot. Woke grandpa, yeah. I think Tyranitar is a woke ally grandpa. I don't think he's gay, but I think he's definitely an ally. Now, what are we thinking of Lugia? 680 stat total, very powerful, and real legendary, unlike the little cats slash dog slash fox. Guardian of the Seas, not a water type though. So we have to acknowledge that Lugia is a fraud. Think about it. Do you know why Lugia is Psychic type? Is because it's a legendary. And back in early Pokemon, Psychic type was considered the most overpowered of all. And they wanted to have a really strong legendary, so they were like, oh, let's make it Psychic type instead of water. Let's not make it a water type, even though it's supposed to be ruler of the seas, living on the bottom of the ocean. And that tells me Lugia doesn't believe in anything. Lugia stands for nothing. Lugia is a grifter. Lugia goes to January 6th. And I'm sorry for all the Silver fans here, but it's true. Ho-Oh, however, is, despite, this is a color subversion. One's red, the other one's blue, but the blue one is the one that's, the one that's the right-wing grifter. And you wouldn't expect that. But what about red? What about the red one? What about Ho-Oh? Well, I have one word for you. Rainbow feathers said to form behind it when it flies.
This is absolutely sugoi.
It's gay. She's gay. He's going in opposition. It's true. Ho-Oh is a prideful Pokemon. Celebi is a beautiful onion. However, despite being a fairy, it's not a fairy type. So it's this is not like Lugia. Lugia like faked being a water type. She's faking being a I don't think she's faking being a fairy. I think Celebi is repressing. I think Celebi she was the proof and she was at Stonewall. Celebi could travel back to Stonewall, but she hasn't. She hasn't done anything about it. And I think she's afraid. I think she's in the closet. So she's definitely opposition, but I don't think she would say anything about it. I think she'd be too scared to come out as who she is, and that makes me sad. That makes me sad to hear about. But you know what? That means we finished Generation 2. And I'm gonna take a celebratory swig. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna take a celebratory swig from my celebratory water. Oh, that was a long swig. That was a chug. That was a big one. Sceptile. We are, again, Generation 3. We've come very far. We're not even halfway. In fact. But it's very far. Sceptile. Sceptile is very interesting. Like I've said multiple times before. The thing with Sceptile is that it's a victim of when it was made. Sceptile is a Generation 3 Pokemon. If you didn't know, Generation 3, the physical special split hasn't been introduced yet. So what that means is that after Generation 4, every move was assigned to be either physical or special. Before that, no matter what the move was, it would be physical or special based on the type. So it wasn't individual. For example, ground moves used to always be physical. Fighting was always physical. Grass used to always be special. Fire used to always be special. It was supposed to be evoke this classic RPG structure of, oh, you have your mages, you have the warriors and such. That's what Pokemon was back then. And Sceptile, because of that, has very high special attack, at very high speed. So it was intended to be a special sweeper, but the thing with Sceptile is it doesn't, unlike all the other starters, it just didn't, well, in Gen 3, it just did not get a second typing. For some reason. Even though you could say, you look at it, you think it's like, oh, maybe like it's like a ninja, maybe a dark type? No. They already have a dark type, dark grass type in here. Maybe fighting? No. Maybe dragon? Oh, you think they would make a dragon starter? That's cute. No. No. It's just grass. And it has a lacking move pool because of that, and it can't really make use of its grass typing. So what does it tell? Again, this gives some, this is like an old man that maybe kind of resents today, and it was maybe, but also what I'm seeing, maybe an underprivileged young man that rose above everything. And now look, she's excited. She's happy. I know I just like used two different pronouns for Sceptile, but you know, she can do both. It's fine. And she can slice down fig trees, sharp leaves on its arms to strike its prey. It's without peer in jungle combat. Very interesting. Pokemon raises the trees in the forest with loving care. So we know that Sceptile is a caring parent. Sceptile loves parenting. So I think opposite. This is a very long explanation. Like Sceptile just seems too loving to me. Just underprivileged, wants to help the ones that also aren't as lucky as Sceptile. That's my read on Sceptile. So I think Sceptile opposition. Blaziken though. Blaziken is a famous martial artist. I kind of get the vibes that Blaziken would be maybe go down like a bad pipeline. I think she might go down a bad pipeline. That's common for a lot of martial artist types, where you know they watch like an Andrew Tate video or something, and now they're all topsy turvy. So I think she went. I'm sorry. I think she went. Swampert. Swampert is a fan favorite, so I gotta be careful about what I say here. Swampert has a very good mega. Definitely needs to be used in a lot of rain teams if you're playing like Gen 7 or something. Was usually the mega of the rain teams. Very good. Very defensive, very strong. I think I'm gonna put Swampert in opposition. I don't want to upset any Mudkip fans. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I don't want to upset any Mudkip fans. So I'm putting Swampert in opposition out of principle. That is my idea. That is what I'm just gonna say to that. Mighty Yena is I mean, it's a punk. It's a punk. What can I say? Linoon strikes me as kind of maybe. I think Linoon is a crypto bro. Can I explain why? Not quite. Not really. I don't know. I just get those vibes from Linoon. Linoon again has bad stats, so I don't think he would have gone. So, oh guys, I can get cheap viewers on streamview.com if I go click on this link. Goodbye. Where was it? Oh yeah, Linoon just gives me like crypto bro, tech bro vibes, and I don't like that it has like this one big blue eye. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks at me. Beautyfly. It's a beautiful trans woman. Dustox is a beautiful trans woman. They're both going in there. Ludicolo. Ludicolo, I think, is another Gengar type, where Ludicolo would have gone, but only to mess with people. I think he records some TikToks there, is what I'm saying, where he just like interviews everyone and asks them like pitfall questions to make them look stupid. I think that's what Ludicolo would do. Next up is Shiftry. Shiftry is I'm rubbing my chin right now because I think Shiftry isn't like an appropriator of Asian culture. I think Shiftry is just very in touch with his heritage, but also because you can see Shiftry very traditionalist, extremely traditionalist. Probably a very strict Asian parent. I think he would be pro traditional values and everything, like conservative values. Probably anti-abortion and stuff like that. Probably support. I don't know if he would support Donald Trump specifically, but I think he'd be very pro conservative Republican Party. That's the read I'm getting on Shiftry. That is the read I'm getting with Shiftry. Swellow. Is it Swell? I don't know. But let's find out. Swellow, famous for having a lot of guts. Famous for being actually very good in Gen 3 speedrunning because of the ability Guts. You would just give it a status issue and then you could sweep the game with Facade. That was the idea. That was the idea. And that, you know what that tells us? Swellow puts on a Facade. Facade was kind of like its big deal. So Swellow is a grifter that went to January 6th. And its stat total, despite its stats, it could go and hold its own because of its good ability and the stat bonus it gets from its Facade. And that's on that. Pelipper. Pelipper is known as the top drizzler. So he's definitely getting an opposition. Pelipper is in competitive mode known as the top drizzler. So, you know, opposition. As they all say. God of War. I don't even need to say it. I'm not repeating myself. Masquerade. I'm not repeating myself. Breloom. I'm not repeating myself. Breloom is the Shroomish line is my favorite. I love Shroomish. Shroomish is my favorite Pokemon. Shroomish, they're my darlings, so I'm putting them in opposition out of, like, just pure nepotism. Just pure bias. This is my agenda. I can do what I want. It's my tier list. Slacking. Slacking loves to watch Fox News. Honestly, Slacking always freaked me out as a kid, and I was very mad because I loved Vigoroth. I even liked Slackoff, but I hated Slacking. I did not want to deal with Slacking, so I never used Vigoroth. Something that upset me about Slacking was its sprite. Here, as we can see, and is it visible? Yeah, it's kind of, you can kind of see it. Slacking in his sprite is kind of scratching at his boobs. At his big fat boobs. And that's respectable and all. That's chill. But the issue was, as a kid, I always saw, because like low resolution images and all, I saw this sprite on a very, very small. It was very, very tiny on this little tapestry I had, but it listed every Pokemon Gen 1 to Gen 4. And because the sprite was so small, to me it always looked like Slacking was playing with his nipple. And that freaked me out as a kid, at his big fat boobs. First thing I hear when I joined, welcome Galivore, and yes, I'm right. Look, you can't look at him and tell me I'm wrong. He has big fat boobs. And the Slacking, again, the fact that I thought he was playing with his nipple just freaked me out. So I'm nowadays I'm kind of gotten over it, but I was not a big fan of Slacking. So Slacking, I think you would go. I think you'd be too lazy to go Slacking. I think you watch Fox News all day, but I don't think you do anything particular. I don't think you inform yourself properly. You just watch TV all day Slacking. You didn't go, but you endorsed it. You endorsed it, definitely. So now Ninjask and Shedinja. Not Shedinja, as many people like to say. Shedinja. Very important distinction. Again. It's the same as Shiftry, where yet probably very traditionalist values, very in touch with, but very in touch with the heritage. And Shedinja and Ninjask are very, very They seem younger, more full of energy. So maybe they would hold some more modern values too. I think they'd be fighting back. I think they'd definitely be right. I just hit my mug with my foot. I think they would be raised more traditionalist, more conservative maybe, but I think they would become progressives as time goes on. So I think in the end we'd have to place both in opposition. In the end, you guys can tell me what you think, but I think opposition. Explode loves it screaming, loves complaining about loves complaining online on the internet about Joe Biden and Bidenomics. Probably was out to kill. I was gonna say it. He probably wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi for real. I think he was yelling her name and stomping around the Capitol trying to find her. Banging bottles together, sharpening knives. I don't think Explode had good intentions that day. I think Explode deserves to be in jail. Hariyama. Hariyama is a sumo fighter. I just realized how many Pokemon in Gen 3 are based on Japanese tradition. Japanese traditional fighting styles. So Hariyama can't stop a train. Famously can't stop a train. I don't think Hariyama gives much of a fuck about anything except beating the shit out of people and flapping his hands to whirlwind them away. That's a thing, by the way. Hariyama learns whirlwind and he just flaps his arms. Canonically, he just flaps his arms and makes you go whoosh. It makes you fly away. Hariyama might be imperialist. Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Hariyama is imperialist. Yeah, I think Hariyama went to January 6th. Delcatty. Delcatty is like a diva. But I think she stays out of politics because she just wants to appeal to people. She's gonna stay out of politics until she gets into like a major controversy. So I think it's Wine Mom evil. Sableye. Sableye is just out for, well, I didn't go but endorsed it. That's what I think about Sableye. Sableye is a little mischievous kind of fella. I don't think he has the best interest for everyone in mind. I think he's low-key. He's one of those that has a Sigma male grind set. I think he invested in Bitcoin early and got rich off of that. And now he supports a bunch of elites. That's what I think. That's what I think Sableye does. Mawile. Mawile is a beautiful, beautiful woman. We love her. We love Mawile. We love her fairy. We love her steel fairy. We love her mega evolution. Very good. Very nice. However, oh my god, your stats are terrible. I didn't know. Oh dear, what were you a fully evolved Pokemon? What the hell were they doing to you? Mawile. Well, you have a good type, I guess. Mawile. You know, the thing with Mawile is, again, I feel like she'd be a little traditionalist. A little. But I don't think she would be on the level of... I don't think she would be supporting January 6th. I don't think she'd be that far. I think she'd be a little traditionalist. Maybe like more towards the center than like the right side. Or maybe center right or like center left. But I don't think she would be pro January 6th. I don't see her at Gen 6. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. Aggron, however. Now, many people would say Aggron would go to January 6th. I've seen this all the time. But Aggron seems like a gentle giant, doesn't he? Doesn't she just seem like a gentle giant? Look at all this cool artwork of Aggron. Now, here's what you have to consider, though. He's the champion's ace. He's the champion's ace in Ruby and Sapphire. You know what that means? He has ties with the Elite. The Elite Four. And for that he's going to January 6th. For that he's got Medicham. Medicham had a lot of bad surgeries. She went to Tel Aviv, get some bad face jobs, and now she is in Congress. Now she is a Republican in Congress. So she went to January 6th. Sorry. Manectric. Manectrix is like, I don't know if Manectric thinks. Manectric just seems like Manectric seems like a dog among Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest. Manectric is so dog, I feel like a Pokemon would have him as a pet. That is how dog Manectric is to me. So I think Manectric would be like Wine Mom good. Manectric is just like not sentient to me. Unlike Plesla and Minun. Plesla went Minun opposition. Because that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Minun is against, but Plesla is pro. And sentient, like most wine moms are. Yeah. Yeah. Basically. That's the whole point. That's why you can get so much wine and never get drunk. It's cool. Volbeat and Illumise. Problematic MAGA couple. Problematic MAGA influences. They did not go, but they pretend they went. They pretend they went. They're sad that they couldn't go because they didn't have the finances, because no one uses them, because they're very unappealing designs, and they're very, very bad. They're very, very weak in general, so no one uses them. So they didn't have the money to go. They couldn't afford a ticket to Washington D.C. Sorry, I mean to you know, I don't know. I couldn't think of city. Swallet. Swallet is a big, greedy venture capitalist. Would he go? Nah, he didn't go, but he endorsed it. He didn't. He's too lazy. He's too lazy. Sharpedo. I want to say fake punk. I want to say he's a fake punk. I think he's like one of those MAGA punks, quote unquote. That's what I'm getting from Sharpedo. He's just in it for the fashion. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Wailord, very kind. Wailord has been so good to me in my Platinum Nuzlocke. So I'm putting Wailord in opposition. Big Buvale. He's a black metal fan, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just think he would be problematic. I think he like that one Norwegian band that made, what was it called? The one that made that cover, an actual band member's suicide. I think he'd be a fan of that because it's edgy. That's the rate I'm getting on Sharpedo. Camerupt. Camerupt is just, Behemoth? I don't know. I think it was Norwegian. Was it Behemoth? I'm unsure. Maybe. I think it was actually. Camerupt. We have to look at the entries for Camerupt. I'm not very confident on Camerupt. I never used Camerupt much. Very low speed step, but that's to be expected. Solid Rock. Oh my god, you have Solid Rock and Anger Point? That's pretty good. Volcanoes on its back have a major eruption every 10 years or whenever it becomes really angry. If angered, the humps on its back erupt in a shower of molten lava. It lives in the crater of volcanoes. Camerupt has a volcano inside of its body. Magma of 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit causes for its body. Occasionally, the humps on this Pokemon's back erupt, spewing superheated magma. So, it doesn't seem like it is easily... I mean, it can't just be easily angered, right? It can't just be easily made mad. It probably has a lot of self-control. It's probably very zen. So, I don't think it would be rage baited a lot by things like Fox News. I don't think you'd have a lot of appeal to emotion with Camerupt. So, I think Camerupt would be opposition. Also, Camerupt... Actually, no. No, I was gonna say, no, it's not. I was gonna say it's like a donkey, but it's not. No. Talkhole. Talkhole is the Pokemon, the best one to use for Drought. Drought, very good ability. Very needed for Sun teams. Very simple guy. As we can see here, this is smoke, which if you don't know, smoke is a funny reference to weed. So they were doing that back then. So definitely opposition. Grumpig. Grumpig is a very confused Pokemon. If you look at the stat spread here, I don't even know. I don't really understand what it's supposed to be doing. It's... I mean, I guess it's a special defender. It's good at that, and it can do special attack, I guess. It's just it's just... Gen 3 stat spreads are weird. I don't know. They're weird. It has fantastic powers and dances bizarrely. This Pokemon's black pearls are as valuable as works of art. So again, another hoarder of wealth and it's a very, very capitalist. Very capitalist Grumpig. So we put you in, definitely went to January 6th. Spinder, another Pokemon. Drunk little guy, just very friendly. So we know it's Wine Mom. Do we think Wine Mom good? Yes, because look at how positive Spinder is. Spinder just like spinning in circles. Its stat total is 360 because it likes spinning around and not doing anything else. It doesn't like fighting, it just likes spinning. That's why Spinder is so cool. Hear me? Okay, I'm hearing you out. I'm gonna take a swig of my water while I'm hearing you out. Pizza time. Exactly. Taking a swig. I'm awaiting an answer with bated breath. I'm holding my breath right now while talking. I can't breathe because I'm talking. Spiral Eyes equals hypnosis equals satanic. But so was Polygraph. And satanic. No, you're saying it's not. You're saying Spinder isn't very Christian, right? You're saying Spinder isn't very Christian. That wouldn't make it very non-traditionalist. So, you know, I can't not see Spinder as a kinky prey type trans woman. They are possibly. But here's the thing, Moon. I want you to look at this again, okay? Does this look like a stat spread a trans woman would have? Do you think a trans woman would have a stat total of 360 with a terrible 60 in every stat? I don't think so. Might be onto something there. No, I just disputed it. The stat total disputes it. I think she can do anything. Maybe you're right. Okay, you got me. Okay, yeah, opposition. You got me. Flygon. Flygon is a Pokemon for people who think that ice cream is delicious and sunny days are nice and having fun outside is cool. That is what people who like Flygon like doing. And they like not having homework and they like fun with friends. That's what Flygon that's just who the Flygon fans are. And I don't want to get anyone mad at me, but it's true. It's true. That's the type of Flygon stuff does. And she is nicknamed Elemental Spirit of the Desert. Because of its flapping wings whip up of clouded sand, this Pokemon is always enveloped in a sandstorm while flying. Why is it elemental? Sand is not an element. You think about that? You're gonna say, oh, Earth is an element. Sand is not dirt. It's different. It's different stuff. It's way different. So, and they keep calling her the Desert Spirit in the Pokedex entries, which again, fraudulent. I mean, I love Flygon, but I'm sorry. I think Flygon went to January 6th. Cacturn. Cacturn is another fraud type Pokemon. Very much known for scamming people into thinking he's a cactus, but in reality, she's not. But also, Cacturn is actually, if you look closely enough, most likely just a guy in the suit. If you would, like, look at this. Perfectly human proportions. If you were to turn around, you could see a big zipper on Cacton's back. So you're saying, oh, Cacton's like a grifter. So he went, no, I think Cacton would go but to troll people. I think Cacton is a problematic personality, but I don't think he has political allegiances. I don't think he's politically aligned, even though he's very problematic. So I think he would have gone, but only to troll people. Altaria, opposition. I don't need to explain myself. Cacton is like craft punk. That is what is craft punk? Like do you mean like mac and cheese? What's craft punk? Like craft work? Or is that he's a guy who wears a cheese mask with like bicycle helmet? Nothing you're saying makes anything any clearer at all. I just received 7 I just received 7 Twitch messages. Not Twitch, Discord messages. That's cheese. I'm gonna have to look this up. What is craft punk? I'm gonna look this up on my phone so I don't see anything bad. I'm gonna have to see this. I'm gonna have to take a look-see. Craft punk. What do you mean in craft? That's what I was thinking. Craft punk. I'm looking it up. What does craft punk do? Oh, it's like Daft Punk, but the helmet is cheese. Okay, but what does craft punk do? Is that just an Adult Swim bit? What is craft punk? I'm seeing Gmod models. He just shows up to places. So, well, then I guess he would be a January 6th. I guess he would be there, but to troll people. So I guess I was right. Zangoose, punk. Survivor, fake punk. What go? And Astari. Lunatone. Lunatone and Solrock are 2 Pokemon that it's hard to have an opinion on because they don't really do much. Solrock was known as Space Jam in my Nuzlocke and also one of the first deaths of the Nuzlocke. I got very attached to Solrock / Space Jam, and made me very sad when I had to see it go. But what would you be supporting? So if you know, The Sun is a journal. I believe it is a British conservative journal. So I think Solrock would have gone. So what is Solrock's stat total? Well, what the fuck is this? What did they do to you? Are you a psychic type of fucking 55 special attack? What did they want you to do back then? Oh my god. Solrock would be there because it's the sun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What were they doing to you, Solrock? What the hell? Lunatone? Lunatone's the opposite. So, naturally opposition. It's the opposite. Whiscash. Whiscash has a big W on his head. That's the most distinct thing about Whiscash. Whiscash is a Pokemon in the long line of Pokemon that are the water and ground type. Which was neat. It was neat and unique when Quagsire did it. And then it was less unique when Whiscash did it. And then it got even less unique when Gastrodon did it. And then it just went on from there. We just kept getting water ground types. They just love that combination. I mean, it's a good combination, but they just love that combination. It's a very good combo. And we had Swampert in the same gen too. Whiscash is definitely an old man. It is a hot one. Whiscash is definitely a very old man. I think he's mad that he's often overshadowed, maybe. His stat total is not great. As we can see, HP is like the only stat above 100 here. I don't know what they were doing to... I don't know why they didn't like Whiscash. I think it would attend if it was catfishing someone. I'm gonna let you sit inside. I'm not accepting. I'm not accepting that. We're not doing catfish puns. We're not gonna do catfish puns. We're not doing that. No, no, that show ended. That show ended 10 years ago. Can't say that. And you know what? For that, just for that, I'm doing the opposite of what you said. But just for that, doing opposition. Just for that, just to be contrarian. Crawdon. Mr. Craw, as it's known. As it's known to be known. Mr. Craw, still a very good Pokemon. Actually a decent revenge killer. Blunder swears by it. Blunder says Mr. Craw is amazing. And I have to say, I like Mr. Craw. I like Mr. Craw. I like when I ring the phone and Mr. Craw is on the phone. Catfish has always been a thing, even before the show. But the show is what I know. The show is what I know it from. So to me, so to me, it's that. So to me, it means that and that only. The special defense being low is honestly kind of fine when you consider that what was a special type in Gen 3, types like fire, which already would not be very good. Like, you wouldn't use a fire type against a Crawdon anyway, and you wouldn't use a water type against the Crawdon anyway because it was a dark type. Well, it wasn't you the dark type move back then. You wouldn't use a water type most likely. I guess you could, but not. What is your move pool, Crawdon? What was your move pool back? I don't know. I didn't like Gen 3. I didn't like the Gen 3 competitive scene. I think it kind of stunk because it was so much tanking. It was basically just stalling. Get guillotine, your knockoff was so bad back then. You had Swords Dance. You could Vice Grip people. I'm sure you could slash. Could you not slash? You can't slash? Really? Really? You can't slash? Oh, but you could strength. Okay. You could strength. So you could do something against water types too. The only real types that he was bad against, that was special types, were the ones that already would be good against the water type that you wouldn't even want Crawdon to be in against to begin with. And it was immune to Psychic. It was that was really the main thing, just having a low special Pokemon with low special defense that was immune to Psychic. Because in Gen 3, if you were immune to Psychic, you could afford a low special defense. You could afford a low special defense. But very violent Crawdon. Crawdon, I think, is very aggressive, very confrontational. I think Crawdon would show up to campuses to debate people. I think he'd be a Steven Crowder type. I think, and that's also not a pun. That's also not a pun. I'm not saying he's like Steven Crawdon or whatever, but I think he would have gone. I think he would have gone. I am sorry. Ladle. Another ancient, very old, literally a tradition Pokemon, literally based on tradition. But again, what is Claydol based on? I believe Claydol is. Wait, let me make sure I'm not stupid here. Yeah. It's based on. I think, Jewish, ancient, clay, what do you call it? Clay working, clay crafting. I don't know, clay molding maybe. I think that's what, and like a mix of I think Hispanic, old Hispanic, ancient civilizations, old indigenous civilizations. Is it too old to attend though? Maybe. But I think Claydol honestly would have been. I think he'd be one of those kind of contrarian pick-me types. You know, it's a minority, but it's like, I support Trump, so the Republicans can't be racist. You say you think all of them are racist, but you think I'm racist? What? I think that's the read I'm getting on Claydol. That is the read I'm getting on Claydol. Maybe you're right that it's too old to attend. After all, it is a mineral. It is a mineral. But it can levitate. It could levitate over all its problems. We're gonna have to leave that one open. We might get back to it later. Maybe. Cradley. Cradley is another one that's very old. So the Cradley is one where I say absolutely old enough to attend, like too old to attend. I think literally only has one tooth left. Not a lot of hair left either. Very old guy. But we love Cradley. I think Cradley is like an ally grandpa. That is the read I'm getting on Cradley. I think Cradley would love you no matter who you are. And that's why you're going in Wine Mom Good, Cradley. That's why you are Cradley D, Cradley Die in Wine Mom Good. Armaldo. Armaldo. See, Armaldo, I think, is the opposite. Armaldo is the aggressive, evil grandpa. Armaldo is the grandpa that says slurs during Thanksgiving dinner. That is what Armaldo is to me. Armaldo, maybe I'm gonna change tracks. I'm gonna change tracks. Hold on, everybody. I'm sick of Animal Crossing 8 p.m. I'm sick of Animal Crossing 8 p.m. for once. It's not as good as 9 p.m. That's the thing. It's not as good as 9 p.m. Hold on. Where is my window capture? There it is. Okay. Hello, Dustin Private Lover number 3. Welcome. Welcome. I'm changing the tracks. I need to put on Animal Crossing 9 p.m. Actually, it's... let's do Animal Crossing New Leaf 10 p.m. music. Please. If you would... If you so please. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Classic. Classic, 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 classic. Let's go back to... Let's start the window capture again. W name change. Thank you. I see you rebranded. I see you rebranded. That is... It took me a second to figure out who you were. Your name is easier to say now, I think. Your name has become easier to say. I will say that. So I think that baby is so tough. Armaldo is... Yeah, no, Armaldo is the opposite of Cradley. I think Armaldo is an aggressive grandfather type. Armaldo is very angry. He's a Fox News guy. I think he would be too old to attend, but he wouldn't care. I think Armaldo would go and then get trampled and break all of his stupid, brittle little bones that he has grinded to dust by years of being foolish enough to walk. So I think you're going there. Melodic, beautiful transform in opposition. Cast form. Cast form is pretty gender fluid. I mean, it's the whole deal is it's changing types constantly. Constantly. Based on the weather. Very, very fluid Pokemon. Literally sometimes in training. Kecleon. Kecleon is different though. Kecleon is... His stream is just... Oh shit! There you go. There you go. There you go. Visuals are back. Visuals are back. Sorry, that was my house. I just doxed myself. That was where I live. I live in Bliss. I live in a beautiful green landscape, sorry. Okay, Kecleon. Kecleon. Kecleon, I think, is... You know, he likes to change types and whatever. But do I think Kecleon is the same as Castform? No. I think Kecleon doesn't stand for anything. Kecleon doesn't believe in anything. Kecleon is a little bit of a grifter. We're going back to the grifter thing. I don't think a grifter, but maybe it's like... I think Kecleon has bad co-workers. So Kecleon ends up internalizing a lot of stuff. It's performative. Performative is a good one, maybe. I think he just has whatever other people around him do. Yeah, it's just he doesn't have any own beliefs. He just kind of repeats what he heard other people say to please others. So I don't think he went. I don't think he had a problem with it. But I couldn't say he endorsed it. But I think he goes on Wine Mom Evil. Wine Mom Evil. Bandit. Bandit, you are beautiful. Bandit, I love you. That is my reasoning. Bandit, I love you. Tropius. Tropius, has got a little banana beard. So it definitely would have gone to January 6th. Definitely. That's all I have to say about that. It's got a little banana beard. Yep. So Chimecho. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Chimecho was just a friendly receptionist that helped you get all your new party members. Also, when I was a kid, I was very fond of Chimecho because I thought Chimecho looked like a fabulous strip of gum. So Chimecho, you are going into opposition. I think you would say la 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 la. You're just very friendly. I love Chimecho. Who doesn't love Chimecho? Absol. Absol is considered a bad omen, but I think Absol is just emo. Absol is just emo because look at it. Let's look at the stats, okay? 130 attack, that looks really fucking good. But you know what that means for Generation 3? In Generation 3, Dark type was for some reason a special type, even though it was clearly not supposed to be. It's just because they had more physical types than special types. So they just were like, oh yeah, we should balance it out. So it's totally balanced. We should put the new Dark type into special. Because Ghost was for some reason not a special but a physical type. And I can tell you why. It's because in Generation 1, the only Ghost type move that did damage was Lick. And licking is very much a physical thing. So it was based on physical damage. So that's the whole thing. that's the whole reason why Ghost is a physical type, I believe. Well, that's my fan theory. And I believe that's why Dog was a special type up to Generation 4. Nowadays, Absol is good, but wasn't back then. So I think this is representative of someone who was once part of a bad crowd and then became good. And then became a better person. So I think opposition. She's emo now. She's emo now. It's okay. It's okay. She's emo now. Glalie is the least fully evolved Pokemon in the world. There's not a single Pokemon that looks more like a middle evolution, but it's actually a final evolution than Glalie. Glalie does look so unfinished. And you know what? Look at the stat. It's 480. It does the same thing as Spinder, but with like with 20 up. With 20 up. You know what I want to do when I see Glalie? I want to do 480 and walk away. And but it's the face Pokemon. You know what Glalie does? Glalie likes to serve face. And it delivers. Glalie, despite its rough edges, what you wouldn't believe, actually has like a grind account possibly. So I think opposition. I think Glalie is gay. So next we have Walrein. Walrein is part of the Sphere line. Sphere is very beloved and I don't want to get any death threats, so I'm putting you in opposition. Just for that. Gorbis and Huntail. Gorbis and Huntail are both very problematic, but I actually think, in this case, Huntail is the progressive one, while Gorbis is like very evil, but Huntail doesn't care. Huntail doesn't care, he's just like, oh, yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. Man, she's just like that. She can be a bit offensive at times. Like, he'd be defending it. He'd be defending it because he likes her, and he doesn't want to break up with her over her terrible evil views. So that's my view. That's my view on Gorbis and Huntail's relationship. Huntail definitely is. So Huntail is Wine Mom evil. He has the right views more so. Well, technically, but he lets people get away with things. He turns a blind eye, which makes him ignorant, which is bad. There is not a fucking Pokemon named Gorbis. It's Gorbis. It's Clamperl has 2 evolutions. It can be Huntail, or it can be Gorbis. Look. What do you mean? Come on. What? What is so bad about Gorbis? It's like Gore Abyss. And then it's Gorbis, in fact, is such a fucking fire name. It's too aura farming for like a pink little snake thing. It doesn't. But I have to say, Gorbis and Huntail are the most forgotten Pokemon in the world. The way they evolve, this is part of the way they evolve. Clan Pearl evolves by giving it an item and then trading it. Which not just a trade evolution, but a trade evolution that has to have an item. That is ridiculous. That is not something anyone will ever do. So, no one has ever used either of those, even though I will say I really like Huntail's design. I am very fond of how Huntail looks. Gorbis, not so much. I think Gorbis looks boring as shit. Huntail, though, has a cool color scheme. He's like one of the San Jose Sharks. Kinda, you know. I think he's a Sharks fan. So he is woke. He is woke because he's a Sharks fan. That's a little hockey reference there. That's a hockey reference. So Gorbis, I think went. Gorbis, I think she went without her boyfriend though. She went without her boyfriend. It's funny because Clan Pearl isn't forgotten at all. I see heat coming up. Oh, what's coming up? Relicanth, Love Disc. Oh my god, we're actually close to Gen 4. Oh, that's so big. That is so big. We almost made it for Gen 3. Okay. Relicanth. Old man, but a happy old man. Old man, but a kind old man. That is what Relicanth... That is what Relicanth is. Relicanth is an old, but happy old man. Opposition. He lives on a mountain. He has fun. He sees his grandchildren once or twice a month. He's doing so well. Everyone loves Relicanth. She doesn't have a wife anymore. She's dead, but she's still happy. He still makes the best of it. He just cherishes the times he had with her. And that's beautiful. I love that Relicanth has such a good and healthy relationship with life. Love Disc. Love Disc did something bad in her past. You look at Love Disc, and then you look at the stats. Love Disc did something bad to deserve this. Does not evolve. Does nothing. Love Disc did something nasty. And now he has to pay. Now he's mad. And he went to January 6th. Despite the low, terrible stats, still went to January 6th. Love Disc is a holier than thou motherfucker. You think so? Maybe. Maybe, actually. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe. Maybe Love Disc, I think, maybe would be lecturing people all the time. But I don't think Love Disc will actually... In fact, this might actually strengthen my narrative that Love Disc went to January 6th. I think Love Disc has no concrete values. I think Love Disc presents to be like a good person, but secretly is like terrible and then justifies his terrible beliefs. That's what I think Love Disc is. That's my view of Love Disc now. Thank you. Thank you. So Love Disc definitely went. Love Disc used Whirlpool on Nancy Pelosi. It's giving enlightened centrist. Enlightened centrist, maybe, mayhaps, but we know centrist is like a lot of the time people that identify as centrist just end up just being kind of right wing. That's the thing. Centrist is, it's very hard to be a true centrist. It's very hard to not have a bias because the media diet you feed yourself is automatically, because we live in the age of the internet, right? It's going to be curated by something. By either the place where you live or whatever you've already picked out in case you're doing like anything on social media, any content you already liked and agreed with. So it's gonna push you further into that direction as you go. So that is what Love Disc is. That is what most centrists are. I'm sure there's some actual centrists out there, but most people aren't actual centrists that claim to be centrists. And Love Disc, you know, he doesn't pass. He doesn't pass that role. Salamence. Oh, she is a beauty. Salamence, very intimidating, has moxie. Any employer would love to have Salamence. Actual 600 base stat total, unlike those other, the trio we covered earlier. So, Salamence, we love Salamence. I mean, we like Salamence, but... Oh yeah, Salamance's whole deal. Here's the Bagon deal, okay? Bagon really wants to fly, but it can't. Not until it becomes a Salamence at level 50. That is what Bagon has gained the ability to fly. So, follow your dreams. pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, and that's the hook. That's the hook. So Salamence made it. Salamence is part of the very small percentage of self-made billionaires. A very small percentage. And at first she was just a young girl of a dream, but then it got out of hand. And she started becoming evil. And now she didn't go because it would damage her public image, but she endorsed it. Deep down, she could have been a good person, but she went a bad path. She took a bad path. She took a bad left somewhere in life. Somewhere between level 30 and 40. And then look what happened. But guess what? We got a second pseudo-legendary in Generation 3, and that is Metagross. Metagross, very big guy, very notoriously intelligent, in fact. Notoriously strong, in fact. Metagross is an amazing Pokemon. He loves floating. He loves just hitting things with his big arms. But because of its intelligence, I think Metagross would be drawn to, wouldn't like rage baiting. I think he would be drawn to more civil political. I think he's very deep on, for example, the economy, more deep political issues than your average. She's above surface level politics. Okay, that's what I think. That's what I think about Metagross. So definitely opposition. Definitely opposition. I think Metagross you could have a great conversation for ages, but I don't think you could entertain Metagross because she would just be above you. She would entertain you, but you couldn't really entertain her, and that would make you feel bad, kind of. That's what I think. That is what I think. You just feel too intellectually, you're just too outclassed. And now we're moving into the legendaries. This is the last stretch for Generation 3. Oh, that's so good. That is so cool. That is so cool how far we've come. Regirock. One of the Reggies. All the Reggies. The thing of all the Reggies, they all know Braille, canonically. They all love Braille. They have learned Braille. So definitely have a lot of disability awareness. So all of them, I think, would go in opposition. All of them. All three of them. All three. Latios and Latios. So these are actually... You know what? They're gendered legendaries. That is the first of their kind, in fact. The first of their kind. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. Normally they're genderless. So what do we think? But what do we think about that? Do we think it's brave that they actually carry their identity, they have their identity, and they carry it out freely? Or are we thinking they're trying very hard to push themselves into a binary? Well, what are we thinking about Latios and Latios? Very, very interesting. I remember as a kid, I had this friend who also liked Pokemon, and I would write her emails all the time. I was like 11 years old. And one of the last emails I wrote her was me saying, what if Latios and Latias could make eggs and breed in the Pokemon what do you call it? Daycare. Yeah, at the Pokemon daycare. What if they could lay an egg? And what would it be? Maybe it would be a green one. Ha ha ha. And I was fucking stupid because red and blue does not make green. It makes fucking purple. So it would be a purple baby, first of all. It's giving, and which would be a non-binary color now that I think about it. I think they're airplane girls. The male would identify as a super male. What is super male? You mean like super straight? That is I've heard about that. I don't know, what is super male? What is super male? But you're saying the airplane girls. Latios is like male. That is like Latios' big thing. It's like Latios is like strictly male. And Latios is strictly female. That's like that big deal. Oh, super straight? Yeah. So I could see both. I could see both. Maybe Latios is a powerful trad husband, but I think Latios is strong and independent. So I think Latios, something I know is a lot of red Pokemon don't go up here as you would think, but there's definitely a pattern. You can't see it, but there's a pattern. So Latios goes. Even though normally they do everything together. Normally Latios and Latios, they love each other, which is rare for legendary duos. But they just disagree. I guess they agree to disagree on politics very radically. I might add, which is dangerous. I don't think they should dismiss it like that, but they do. They do. It's sad. It is sad. Kyogre and Groudon. Kyogre and Groudon are in constant opposition. They both don't really give a fuck. So, ironically enough, I think that puts them into the same spec, which is Wine Mom evil. That's what I think. And Rayquaza is Wine Mom good. Actually, both of them, I think, would have gone. I think both of them would have gone to January 6th. And then this would be the one thing they agree upon. And then Rayquaza has to get them out of there and break them apart. Then it has to educate them, I think, on democracy and what it means to live in that constitutional republic doesn't mean we're not living in a democracy. I think I think that's what they have. It would have to maybe teach those two. Jirachi is from space. It likes sleeping every 1,000 years. It wasn't even around for January 6th, I don't think. So, Wine Mom good. Wine Mom good. I have a sneeze come up, but I'm not gonna sneeze. Am I? I sneezed. Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that disappointed anyone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What does this mean? I just gotta sit down. Okay. There you go. Okay. Next up. These are the last ones. These are the last ones. The forms of Deoxys. So every form of Deoxys in here, we have base form. Actually, here we have. Wait. Huh? Attack. This is speed form. This is defense form. Yeah, and this is attack form. So we don't have default Deoxys in here? Is default Deoxys not in here? That's so weird. That is odd. That is odd. I will say that is weird. I love Deoxys though. Look at Deoxys' beautiful stats. Holy shit. That is so cool of you, Deoxys. Natural sweeper. The speed form is like almost unnecessary, really. The speed form is more of a normal form than the speed form is. I'm just gonna put that out there. What is your, yeah, okay, 180. Damn. Deoxys speed. I think we're gonna have to put all, I don't think Deoxys would change political views just because the DNA is different. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. At the same time, I'm not sure how much Deoxys cares about Earth politics, considering that, you know, it's an alien virus. It's not. I don't think it would care much. So Wine Mom, but Wine Mom evil. You know, it's still a virus. I think he'd have some. I think it would have some like choice words to say about Dr. Fauci, but that's it. That's it. And now we've arrived at Gen 4. And in celebration, I will change the track once again. I will change the track to be 11 p.m. Let me put that on loop. Thank you. There you go. This is beautiful. I love the Animal Crossing New. This makes me want to play more Animal Crossing New Leaf. Little Base Deoxys is a classic. Haven't ranked it yet. Love it. Classic. Haven't played it yet. So, the Gen 4 starters. Where should we begin? Probably start. Gen 4 is gonna be an easy one, I feel like. How long's Gen 4? Gen 4 is, well, not that short. I mean, a lot of final evolutions ended up being here, so. Gen 6 is gonna be a little short. Gen 5 is gonna be. Gen 5 is good. We're gonna have a work cut out for us during Gen 5. Gen 6 is gonna be a relief. And then Gen 7 is gonna be a bigger deal again. But after that, we're gonna be almost done. When we're done with this one, we're almost at 50% though. We'll almost be at 50%. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget where we would be, would be progress were, where we were. Torterra. Torterra, again, very, very smart about ecology. Has a tree on its back, but it has a very unfriendly stare. It does not have a very inviting stare, does it? A giving kind of evil old man. That's kind of the energy that Torterra gives me. As much as I like Torterra. I think Torterra is like one of the best starters of all time. One of the biggest goats of all time. I love Torterra. It's very eco-friendly though. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. No, he's giving people oxygen. He's doing a good thing. He's walking around with a tree on its back. Most people don't walk around with like any plants on their back. So opposition. He's better than most of us. Infernape. Goku Pokemon. Goku is woke. Goku famously said, "Can you all jerk me off like cum on all of your faces?" That's a classic Goku quote. Hear me out. I'm hearing you out again. And I'm taking another swig of my water while I'm hearing you out. At January 6th, I wouldn't have no faith. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Opposition. I'm saying he's eco-friendly. He believes in climate change, and he wants to he talks about his carbon footprint all the time. He wants to talk about his carbon footprint all the time. That's my read is. So Infernape, as I said, based on the same thing that Goku is, so woke. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the exact mythology it's referencing. I know what it is. I know it's a little monkey on a cloud. Empoleon, literally emperor, literally imperialistic, went to January 6th. Also, not a good starter. I'm sorry. Very rare that a Pokemon doesn't benefit from the Steel type, but you can. Empoleon did it. Staraptor. I mean, she's trying to be emo. Like, she's trying to be emo, right? It's like she's got one red streak done, changed her haircut a little bit. Now she thinks she's hot shit. So, but I think she'd be one of those MAGA. Like, she's one of those fake punks. So MAGA. So I would say like a MAGA punk. Yeah. So January 6th. Definitely. Bibarel. Bibarel is funny and fat. Bibarel is in the opposition. That's Kricketune. Kricketune is a gay artist. Kricketune is opposition. Luxray. Luxray is what Staraptor wants to be. Luxray is the inspiration. Luxray is the opposition. She goes in here. Roserade. Lovely diva. We love you, Roserade. Actually, Wine Mom. She's so Wine Mom. Look at her. She has, but I think she doesn't want that to be fighting between the Republicans and the Democrats. As we can see from the two flowers that she's holding, she's trying to have unity between the people, between the nation and its people. And that is what Rosa Wright thinks. Rosa Wright, you know, she's not that informed, but she has like a spirit, you know? She has a certain spirit about her. Rampardos. Rampardos has very high attack, but it's well known that Rampardos is not very good and competitive, despite being so min-maxed attack-wise, because it's just very slow and can be taken down very easily. But it's not quite slow enough to fully benefit from Trick Room. Most likely will, but not quite as much as other Trick Room Pokemon can benefit from Trick Room. And I don't think... what is your move pool like? God. Has a great shiny though. Oh my god, look at how good the shiny looks. That is so cool. What the hell? Okay, you're going in opposition. You're going in opposition, buddy. Bastiodon. Actually, what is Bastiodon? Please tell me Bastiodon has a gold shiny, please. What is your shiny? Well, it's silver. It's pretty cool. She reminds me of that guy at the airport who starts chanting, "I'm not afraid to take a stand." Yeah, that's awesome. But that's also Bastion. Bastion is literally taking a step by defending herself. Bastion is just defending herself. Maybe that would mean, though, that Bastiodon's on the defense while Rampardos is on. But look, Rampardos has a blue head. He's wearing he's wearing like a Joe Biden hat. That's impactful. That's impactful. Meanwhile, Bastiodon, I think, is out here shouting, "Let's go, Brandon." And I think that's fucked up. Wormadam. All forms of Wormadam. So, Wormadam has Trash Cloak, Sandy Cloak, and Plant Cloak. Okay, without cheating, can you guess what the Trash Cloak is? It's Steel. People, it's so weird. I don't know why they made this the Steel design. Fun fact, on my little, let's go to Burmy forms, right? Let's go to Burmy forms. On my little poster that I had, where it listed every Gen 4 Pokemon, there were a few misprints that I always noticed as a kid. And one of the misprints was Burmy. For Burmy forms, for example, it listed 4 Burmy forms, and one which I could not recognize. It was like the Sand Cloak, but the colors were way different. It was like this, but different colors. And I don't know why. I don't know how that even happened. I could understand certain things, like the color, but them using the Kadabra sprite. Like they're not using the Kadabra, but the Alakazam sprite for Kadabra, because it does have similar looking Pokemon. I can see why there would be a misprint. But I don't know how they just invented a form. I don't know how they did that. But we can put all of these guys in like one tier, I believe. They just like recycling. They just like recycling and making DIY. Actually, you're wine moms. You're good wine moms. You just like recycling, and you like making DIY project that you saw on DIY projects you saw on YouTube, and you're so sweet. You're so sweet, Wormadam. We love you. We love you, Wormadam. But Morphin? Actually, let's take a look at Morphin. Look, actually, okay, I'm looking close at, how can you hate Morphin? Look at Morphin. Look at its little cute little waistband. It looks like it's hooked up to the wings on its back and not actually attached to him. That is so cute, Morphin. Morphin, you're going opposition with the other Morphs. Thank you. Thank you, Morphin. Vespi Queen. Literal Queen, but I am thinking like... I'm thinking she's like that one... There's this one Maga... Not influencer, but she's called Lady Maga. Oh, sorry, he's called Lady... He's a drag queen. He's a drag queen that appears at Maga rallies. Maga drag queen sounds weird, and it is. But I think Wespy Queen would fall into that. I think Wespy Queen would go to January 6th. I think Westby Queen has a lot of pictures taken with Trump, actually. A lot. I think if Trump was real, he'd have a Westby Queen on his team if he was real, I think. Hachirisu. Very cute, but it's a facade. Didn't go but endorsed it. Ashamed. Floatzel. One of the best fucking dreams I've ever had. That's Floatzel. That's what Floatzel sounds like. That's what a cool Floatzel thing is. Floatzel appears in the best dream you will ever have had. That is Floatzel's deal. So I think Floatzel goes into Wine Mom, but evil, because he can infect, like she can infect your dreams. The best fucking dream I've ever. I can't stop thinking about the Blaze. Don't look it up. Don't look up that Blaze the movie fan video I'm referencing. Charum. Reserved. I think Charum's a trans woman again. Very reserved. Likes to be always shy. But has big bangs. Reveals herself when it's time to shine. Opposition. Gastrodon is a funny fucking slug. Wine Mom. That reference was taking me so long to catch up. Well, Blaze the movie fan. The Blaze the movie fan fandom is dying, sadly. I'm very sad. But Mario pissing 7 might happen one day. Maybe. Maybe. He deleted that video. He made a video where he was like, Mario pissing 7 might happen. He said it. The way he said it made it sound like he needed permission from Nintendo or something. And then he just... like deleted the video. He for no reason. Just one day it was gone. Tyne, I noticed it. It was so weird. I hate that I know that video. The Mario pissing 7 is coming soon. Or the one that the Floatzel one. Which one's specific? Blaze the movie fan has a lot of videos that a lot of people regret watching. But I have never seen a single one of them. I'm so endeared by that man. I love the Dream Run. Okay, that's a classic. The one I was mentioning was a deep cut. You will only get that one if you're hardcore Blaze the movie fan subscriber. I don't know. He just has such a good accent. I don't fucking know. I don't know where I'm going. I am Lord. This is my impression of Blaze the movie fan if he was lost at the supermarket looking for his mother. I am fucking lost in the cereal aisle. I don't know where to fucking go. Mommy, where are you? Mommy, I want to go home. I want Milky. You can't leave me alone in here. That's illegal. You can't do that, Mommy. Mommy, I am son. I want Mommy. One day I will have a child of my own, and I will never, ever abandon it in the supermarket because of the trauma you have given me and seen. That is what Blaze the movie fan would sound like if he was lost in the supermarket as a 36-year-old child. Ambipom. Ambipom is, well, bangs. Okay, well, you have bangs. Okay. Yeah, work. Applause. Exactly. Driftblim. Driftblim has like a... I've never realized that Driftblim has like a little tuft of hair on its head. Driftblim is a... Oh my god, your HP set is good. Wow. It's pretty... Wow, I never noticed. You know, Driftblim is just very directionless. Driftblim doesn't have any plans for life. Driftblim just got caught up in a bad marriage and never got out. Driftblim is an evil wine mom. Sadly. Low Punny. Low Punny. I don't want to talk about Low Punny too much. That might attract some bad people. Let's just say she's Actually, I think she'd be one of those I think she'd be one of those MAGA TikTok influencers. That's what I think. I think that's what Low Punny would be. I'm sorry. Peter Griffin crying standing ovation. I saw Peter Griffin crying. Blaze the Movie Fan has some genius videos. He has the I love Inside of a Movie. That one is so good. Wait. I want to play the one that's, should I interrupt? It's called Inside a Movie, Danger in LA. I don't know what it's called anymore. I'll see if I can I'll see if I can think of it next stream. It's so good. I love that. I love his dialogue. I love the way he speaks. Everything about him is so endearing to me. I would get Blaze the Movie Fan on the stream right now if I could. I wonder if I could hit him up realistically and could get him on Fangalala. I feel like I could use some connections. So I think I could pull some strings and get him on here. And like, not even joking. Okay, Miss Mages. We have so many girly pop Pokemon in Gen 4. Holy shit. Look at the amount of like girl-coded Pokemon. Or like just fruity Pokemon in Gen 4. This is why Gen 4 is goated. So definitely, yeah, opposition. Opposition, not a good question. Honchkrow is like a trans man that owns a fedora. And that I think that's my entire rate on Honchkrow. Honchkrow doesn't actually he's not actually a mafia boss. He just like role plays a mafia boss on like first trap TikToks. So not as engaged in economics as you would think. I don't think it would have gone that he endorsed it, you know. If you watch The Sopranos, you know how they can get with homophobia and stuff. You know how they can get. Per Ugly has been slighted many times. She's been seen as mean, as nasty. People have been saying she's kind of got a moon-shaped face, and that sucks. People have been saying oh my god, she has bad stats. Why is her speed stat so high? She's a fat cat. Why is her speed stat so high? Shouldn't her like defense be high? What do you mean her speed stat is super high? I'm learning a lot. Impudent, difficult to tame. Per Ugly enjoys great popularity due to its fur, the beauty of which surpasses even Velveteen. To make itself appear intimidatingly beefy, it tightly cinches its waist with its split tail. It's a brazen brute that barges its way into another Pokemon's nest and claims it as its own. Colonizer, see? Colonizer. Invasive species. January 6th. Easy as that. Skuntank, though. Skuntank. Do you think Skuntank can be better? Do you have... Skuntank has, like, way better stats. What the fuck? Why did they give Skuntank such good, like, decent... Not good, but decent stats? Meanwhile, Per Ugly has actually nothing. That is so weird. Maybe Per Ugly has, like, a good move pool? Could be. I remember you having a pretty diverse thing, though. You have, like, a Flame Blast and whatever? Pretty good. But I'm putting you in opposition, definitely. Definitely an opposition type. Because you can see it's like, it's a little swoop emo haircut. Swoop emo haircut. Purple, white hair. I think you could even read him as, like, a little gay little fashion designer. A free little fashion designer. I think that's what you could read Skuntank as. So I'm putting you here. Skuntank reminds me of the clock strikes 12. Midnight arrives. Cock your guns and sharpen your knives. That's another person I think very endearing. Very endearing. Good lyrics. Good lyricism. You have to give it. You have to give it to Skuntank. But, you know, I wouldn't think the Clock Strikes 12 guy would be a Gen 6. I think deep down, he's probably a nice guy. I think I could hang out with the Clock Strikes 12 guy for like a little bit. I don't think we would be the best of friends. I don't think we would have similar interests, but I think we got to hang out a little bit. Bronzong. Yeah, I love the person, see? Bronzong. Bronzong is a bell Pokemon. In the Pokemon movie, one of the Pokemon movies where they go to the past, very famous for just kind of like tagging along the main antagonist of the whole thing. Bronze Bell Pokemon. What does Bronzong do, really? Not much, but everyone knows Bronzong. Bronzong can Trick Room, I guess. Bronzong Bronzong is known because it appears all the time, and Bronzong and Bronzer just love appearing in Gen 4 in caves. That's all Bronzong really does. It's not a bad Pokemon. Far from it. Look at the stats. These are really good. Like it's a good defender. And it's got some decent moves it can learn. It's not a bad Pokemon at all. So I think Wild cause a nuisance. Oh wow. 2,000 years sleep. I didn't. That's very powerful. Bring off plentiful harvest. See, that's pretty good. Helping out the people. And I feel like Bronzong would be opposition. Just based on vibes. Just based on vibes. Chatot. See, in Mystery Dungeon, in the Mystery Dungeon games, Chatot is kind of a company man. Chatot does not have much of a soul. Chatot sold his soul to the company. He lifts 16 tons, and what does he get? Wigglytuff beating his ass. So, I think Chatot probably thinks that Trump is gonna help him get more power in his workplace. Stand up for him. He's the little guy. And Chatot is this is Pokemon history. Chatot learns a special move called Shatter. And Chatot was banned. Chatot was banned in Gen 4 competitive because of the move Chatter. What Chatter did is if you used Chatter outside of battle, you can record a little message with your Nintendo DS mic, and that whatever you recorded, it would become Chatot's new cry. So people would use Chatot in competitive Pokemon to say the N-word online. So Chatot has a bad history. And that's why Chatot was banned. My partner just sent me a photo of Korean chicken ice cream. Send them back a photo of New England ice cream. Find like a different place to send ice cream from. I think it's what you should do. Chatot said, well, they're not good. But they're not bad. They're not like... It's not like everything's... Like, having some green stats is better than having everything yellow. Like, this is not terrible. Oh, so he's a... yeah, he's a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. I think Chatot would tell you that you couldn't survive a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Whenever you call him out on being, like, offensive. I think that's what Chatot would do. Spiritomb. I love Spiritomb. Spiritomb is a little hard topic type. Spiritomb is an opposition. Spiritomb is secretly... Well, I think opposition, but he would go to troll people. I think he would. He's a little problematic, but he can say the things he's a bit of a divisive figure. He's not really divisive. He's a little more edgy than most leftist figures, but he still believes in a lot of leftist values. Actually, he's very radical leftist, but edgy. That's the thing with Spiritomb, as I said, yeah. Now, we have Garchomp. The thing with Garchomp is, because he's Cynthia's ace, he's another Pokemon with ties to the elites. And I'm gonna have to put you in January 6th for that. Just for that. Lucario, proud warrior, proud progressive warrior. I've seen, he loves going to furry conventions. Furries love him. Furries love you. Furries love you, Lucario. I'm assuming you love furries too. Which actually doesn't mean much, because a lot of furries are... There's a lot of MAGA furs. I just realized, you know? There are a lot of MAGA furs. So what would Lucario fall under? Lucario loves talking about aura. Is Lucario's deal. Got a Mega Evolution. In fact, it's got 2 Mega Evolutions. And it's got... It still has really good stats. Lucario is just a very good, strong Pokemon. But it evolves through friendship. To become Lucario, you have to first learn the values of love and understanding. And that love can come in all forms and shapes and sizes. To become a Lucario means that you have to leave the homophobic, like your little internalized homophobia behind you. Gen 6 just because I hate Lucario. I don't like Lucario fans either. But Lucario, you have to remember the core values of Lucario. I just hit my mouse. I just hit my mouse by accident. Now, Hip Howden, though. Hip Howden. Hip Howden is gluttonous. Hip Howden is greedy. Hip Howden loves being in sand. I want to sit, and you know what? Hip Howden looks nice. Hip Howden still looks nice though. And this is like seat, you know? This is like a little seat. I would love to just sit in Hip Howden's mouth while I like read or something, or I'm scrolling cool stuff on my phone. And then Hip Howden like shields me from the rain and well, not rain, but like the sun and stuff, because it provides like shadow. That would be pretty cool. I would love that of my Hip Howden. He's a vet, like a veterinarian, or like a you know, like a veteran. Because I would agree with the veteran type. He's kind of the opposite of Dawnfit, where Dawnfit is like a Lapa. He actually like went, and he hasn't just been to the army. He actually saw war. Veteran, yeah. I think Hip Howden saw actual combat. Yeah. As we can see here, it blasts internally stored sand from ports in its body to create a towering twister for attack. Branches its gaping mouth on a display of fearsome strength. It raises vast quantities of sand while attacking. Now here's the thing. Donald Trump oh, I didn't mean to pin that. I did not mean to pin that. Hip Howden, as a veteran, Donald Trump said some bad things about veterans. Some terrible things about veterans before he became president. So I wonder if that would factor in with Hip Howden at all, or if he's even informed to that matter. I don't know how much Hip Howden would inform himself. He just seems very angry. No, he's in the slow level up group, which is, it's not like, good stats though, great stats. What are your abilities again? Sandstream and Sandforce, of course. I'm gonna say January 6th, but I think you could talk him out of it if you just like educate him a little more. I think that's all it would take. Now, Drapion, again, punk. You look at Drapion, tell me, look at the color scheme. Like pink and purple. It's pink and purple. Very gender non-conforming. Beautiful, beautiful Pokemon. Toxicroak. Toxicroak, I think, is I hate to say it, but I think Toxicroak's kind of like a Nick Fuentes type. And most people don't want to hear that. Most people don't want to hear that. I just think Toxicroak says some, you know, it's a miracle he hasn't been banned from streaming yet. It's a miracle. I don't know why they keep him up, but he went. Toxicroak, my god. I know I love Toxicroak too, but it hurts to say sometimes. It hurts to say sometimes. You have to remember that his poison claw contains a virulent toxin. That's what you have to remember. He's very toxic. Carnivine. Carnivine has been known for trying to eat James on multiple occasions. Definitely didn't go but endorsed it. Carnivine does not have very good stats, I believe. No. Well, actually, it's not that. Actually, this is not that bad. 100 attack? Yeah, yeah. Sure, I don't know why you have 90 special attack too, but I feel like you could have been fine as like an attack, like maybe like a physical sweeper type or something, or maybe even a little more defense. I don't know. Carnivine is just would be so forgettable if it wasn't for the anime, and that just sucks because now that I'm looking at Carnivine, I'm kind of loving her vibe. Carnivine looks so cute, actually. Like, the more I look at Carnivine right now, the more I like Carnivine. Very underrated Pokemon. There should be more Carnivine fans. There should be more Pokemon fans that are like, I like Carnivine so much. More of them, please. Please, can we get some Carnivine fans to have less Lucario fans, more Carnivine fans, is what I'm saying. Maybe we could get Carnivine on the right track. Luminion. Luminion is another diva, and never went up the girly pop series. Carnivine is a juggalo. I think that might be true, actually. Carnivine has seen some miracles. I don't think Carnivine knows what magnets are and how they work. I'm not sure if Carnivine has a son, but if Carnivine had a son, it would probably look just like him. So that's interesting. So that is interesting about Carnivine. Now, but let's talk about. Oh, what's on my back? What are you? Ow! What are you? Little wound. What is that? I don't know. Okay. Growth rate erratic. Damn. Luminion is a diva. Opposition. Easily. Easily. Obama Snow. As we know, Obama was a registered Democrat. Opposition. Weavile. I love you, Weavile. Magnezone. Now, what do you think when you think Magnezone? I'm telling you what to think when you think Magnezone. You have to think cop. In the Mystery Dungeon series, Magnezone was a cop. He was head cop, in fact. He was the cop. So he is definitely at January 6th. Either to defend the capital or to raid it. Either of those two. You know what? You guess to know that Magnezone didn't have levitate. Magnezone doesn't have levitate. Look at that. Even though it's like it's like his main weakness. Like its main weakness that would very much make it a force to be reckoned with. I guess he doesn't. I guess it doesn't need it. I think it kind of needs it. Licky always read to me as a very bougie guy. In the anime, I think they even gave him to like a rich kid. I think that was Licky's role. So didn't go, but definitely endorsed it. What are Licky's stats? I actually used Licky before. Licky's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty ghoulish. Look at this. Not bad. It's not bad. Rhyperior. Moon earlier clocked Rhyperior as a straight up fascist. And I think I have to agree. Rhyperior, look at the combat gear and everything. Rhyperior thinks he's all that. Rhyperior is waiting for someone to just like tackle in public. I mean, look at this. This is very hard to unsee. Under his chin, this little thing here looks like a big smile. And that's hard to unsee. So he went to Gen 6. Tangrowth. Tangrowth looks like a bunch of blue spaghetti. Can I say much about Tangrowth though? I don't think so. Wear the ballistic vest because he's worried the left will get him next. No. Rhyperior posted some shit about Charlie Kirk the second he died. Tangrowth has big old eyes. I think Tangrowth just wants to live his life, man. I think it's Wine Mom good. I think. Electivire is known as a big fumble in the community because it's one of those evolutions that actually don't really benefit the Pokemon much. It's not great at all, actually. But what are Electabuzz stats, actually? Well, yeah, Electabuzz was always like solid, and then they just gave it a flat stat up, but not where it mattered. Type of guy to say, wait a minute, these Charlie Kirk deepfakes are messed up. And you know what? I think Electivire and Magmortar would be his buddies. I think he would go drinking with Electivire and Magmortar, and he'd be the leader of the group because he's effective against both of them. I think so. They have the build, in my opinion. They just have that build. Togekiss going in opposition easily. The easiest win of my life. Yanmega. This is interesting because it's the Ogadonna Pokemon. Very weird group to be in. But it's actually pretty decent. Like, good special attack, decent speed, and it has an ability that makes it go faster every turn, and can learn Protect, so, you know, not bad. Here's when you know, the more I go through this, the more I kind of notice the power inflation you got between generations. Like, we're at the point where 500 is like where most good Pokemon end up right now. Like the 500 itch range. Which is a good range to be in, I think. 500 is still solid. They still haven't... The most power creep, I think, now comes more from where the stats are aligned than just flat base stat total. Like, most very competitively viable Pokemon just have low, like, less than yellow, less than what these are, but the same stat total with just what they're good at, even more focused on. Just even more min-maxed. And I think this was kind of like 500-ish, 480 to 500 something was the perfect range for all the Pokemon's base stat totals to fall in. But that's just me. That's just me. I just think the game's the best with that. It's best with that. Now, let's think about Yanmega. So, Yanmega, in the Hard Gold entry, it says, this six-legged Pokemon is easily capable of transporting an adult in flight. The wings on its tail help it stay balanced. But you know what Yanmega can't learn? It can't learn the move Flight. And that pisses me off. And for that, you're going into didn't go but didn't endorse it. But endorsed it. And that hurts me to say because I like Yanmega. I like Yanmega a lot. I thought it was really fucking cool in the anime. It just looks cool as shit. I'm sorry, look at this thing. It looks cool. What can I say, but it looks cool. Leafeon and Glaceon both opposed January 6th. Easy as that. Easy as that. Gliscor. Oh, people might get mad at me. I have to be careful here. I know, I love Gliscor. There's a lot of people that love Gliscor. I want to feed him like fish crackers. Gliscor is just lovely. Gliscor is just lovely. Dances silently throughout the sky. When it approaches prey, it can land a critical hit in an instant. Its flight is soundless. It uses its lengthy tail to carry off its prey. Then its elongated fangs to the rest. So fucking cool. So fucking farming. Opposition. Thank you. Actually, Wine Mom good. Wine Mom good. He's very empty. He's very airheaded. She's a very airheaded type. She's the airheaded type, so. Mamoswine. Mamoswine, something that's weird about Mamoswine. The tusks are, like, not at its head. Like, the tusks are not where tusks would be. It looks like they're at her nipples. It looks like you just have tusks on her chest. And that's weird looking when you notice it. It's very weird looking, but like, why are they not up here? I guess it's not to, just so that it's not too bland down here. And the tusks don't cover up the eyes or whatever, or other parts of the character design. But I don't know why they're down there. Otherwise, like logistically, it looks kind of weird. Now that I'm looking at it. I never noticed that before, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks weird. Oh, slow grip, really? Good stats, though. I can definitely see Mamoswine being someone. Has been around for a long time, though. So, again, possibly traditional. I think I'm getting traditionalist vibes from this. I think Mamoswine would have an issue with who his daughter dates. So, I think he would have gone to January 6th. I'm sorry. Porygon Z, computer nerd, loves Bitcoin, January 6er. Or didn't go but endorsed it. Did not go but endorsed it. Gallade. It's... You know, Gallade used to be very feminine and then became more masculine. As he evolved. So... what I'm sensing here is that he is definitely... it's like a trance mask, which is the wokest kind of trance you can be. So you're going in here. Gallade. Probopass. Probopass has like a big mustache that's made out of metal. Has a big schnoz. I don't know if anyone here saw the beta... let me find it. Beta Probopass, right. I type slowly because I'm in a bad position. Look at the beta Probopass sprite. Look at how good this thing looks. Look at how cool this looks compared to what we got, though. I'm kinda... I know that this one is like objectively better. But I think this one just looks so good. I like the beta mode. They're animating it.
This is absolutely sugoi.
I'll give you absolutely Sugoi for that. Thank you, Probopass. I love you, Probopass Beta. You're entertaining to me. Oh, you know what? For that, just for that, you're getting opposition. You're getting opposition, buddy. Yeah, he's like a Moayad. Oh, he looks so goofy without his hat. Without the color. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, I'm laughing. Dusknoir, famous for being a stupid fucking tradable just that cries an item. And not even being really good. And not even being, like, competitively it's worse. They just didn't give it very good stats. Compared to what it's supposed to be doing. But I think for casual playthroughs, it's gotten better because now you don't have to stall. Like, you don't want to stall in a casual playthrough. So, Dusknoir is actually really good for people who are normal and don't want to... Also, it's in the fast growth rate. In the fast growth rate group. So, it's definitely good for people who are normal and don't play competitive. But if you're like a freak that plays competitive, you're not gonna like Dusknoir. So, I think Dusknoir... Actually, let me look at the entries. It can open portals. It was fucking evil as shit in Mystery Dungeon. Travel worlds unknown. Some even believe that it takes Lost Spirit along with it. So deportation, see? See? Went to January 6th. Easy. Easy. Frostlass. Again, part of the Cunty saga. Part of the beautiful lady saga. Rotom. All forms of Rotom are in the wine. So it went there, but only to troll people. That is what all the Rotom forms go. That is all the Rotom forms. We're gonna have to scroll all the way up. There's so much. We've come so far. We're almost at 493, which is the end of Sinnoh. We're almost there. We're almost home. And then we'll be almost halfway. We'll almost be halfway. Almost. This is so exciting, guys. Uxie, well, Uxie was knowledge, I believe. But you didn't, yeah, you were knowledge. Hide, yeah, you were knowledge, so I think you're opposition. Then I think, hey! Holy shit, I got scared. I got scared for a second. Oh my god, I accidentally pressed back on my mouse. If I accidentally deleted everything, I would have never streamed again. Oh my god. That would have been so scary. Mesprit. I think stinks. Okay, Mesprit is emotion, so Mesprit thinks that facts care more about feelings. So definitely woke in opposition. Azelf. My heart skipped a beat. Yeah, mine too. Azelf is willpower. Azelf, I think, would talk some shit about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Azelf would talk some shit about that. Azelf maybe wouldn't go, but it endorsed it. Definitely was pro. Was pro January 6th. Dialga. Dialga is the time god. And Palkia is the space god. In Mystery Dungeon. In Mystery Dungeon, Dialga was fucking evil as shit and mean. But I think it's way cooler. But Palkia is like a... Palkia, first of all, has like a little phallic symbol. Palkia isn't afraid to let its freak flag fly. Dialga is very afraid to let its freak flag fly. Look at how blocky Dialga is. So I think Dialga went. Dialga went. I'm sorry. Heatran, it's in the name. Regigigas, leader of the Regis, very traditional leader of the Regis, but hasn't been awake for so long. Needs to take 5 turns to adjust to just modern life, just to realize what is actually going on. So he's not fully there yet. So he still has very old. He's stuck in the past, you know. He's just stuck in the past. So I think he would have gone, but he would have realized it was a mistake after. I think nowadays he's better, but back then he was just bad. Back then he was just not good to hang around with. Giratina, badass as fuck. Badass, goth, satanic, and evil. So it's woke. Cresselia. I never know. Cresselia. I would say Cresselia. I think Cresselia is better. Happy dreams, but I think it's sanitization. I think Cresselia advocates for big censorship on TV. I don't think Cresselia would want you to bring up homosexuality on the Muppets, say on like Sesame Street, because they'd think it would like affect its daughter or something. So I think wouldn't go, but definitely endorsed it. Fiona is a little baby. Wine mom good. Manaphy is wine mom good, but in a little sense, in the sense that she's literally just a mom. Manaphy can go in here, or like gender neutral parent, and it doesn't have a gender, but you can lay eggs and stuff. Darkrai. You'd think Darkrai is evil, but no, Darkrai is actually on the good side. Darkrai is on the right side of history. Darkrai actually is very educated on a lot of issues. Darkrai watches a lot of like he watched a lot of H-Bomber guy and got pretty he started like educating himself more on like a lot of leftist issues. Kind of went down the pipeline, and now he's very hardcore. He's very passionate about social issues now. The nightmares are just kind of a hobby of his now. Shaman, beautiful girl. She loves it. I love you, Shaman. Gratitude Pokemon. You'd think it's nice, though. You'd think it's nice, right? Gratitude Pokemon. But here's the kicker. Here's the thing with this gratitude Pokemon. You know what Shaman is all grateful for? Shaman is grateful for apple pie, the Constitution, all great things. But she's maybe too grateful because she's very supportive of Christopher Columbus. So I will have to say, probably went. I think some right-wing values. I'm sorry. Sounds like my dead name Chuck and then Maga. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Arceus. This is gonna be the last one for tonight. Arceus. Arceus is the alpha Pokemon. But would we say that just because it's the alpha Pokemon, would we say that God would have a right-wing bias? Would God have let trainer youngster Joey Biden win? Would God have let that happen? I don't think so. I think just very neutral. I think Wine Mom, good. Is it an alpha or does it think it's an alpha? No, it's alpha. It's like, it's species. Yeah, species is alpha Pokemon because, it's like God is alpha, the alpha and omega. Like the beginning and the end. That's the deal of Arceus. It's giving ally, yeah. I'm thinking Wine Mom good though, because sometimes Arceus lets fucked up shit happen. Sometimes fucked up shit can happen on Arceus watch, but has the best plan in mind. Has the best positive outcome in mind. In fact, I would actually opposition, yeah. And with that, we end today's stream. Very successful. Thank you all for coming to my discussion. Thank you all for coming to this education. I'm glad I can make educational content on here. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. It's Deadpool Funkers? Okay, that's a good note to end on. Bye!